Very good evening, everyone. Today I'm here to discuss question number 1 of revision test paper, which is relevant for November 2021 exam. Apart from this question, all other questions are very simple, directly related to the concept, and such questions are not a new question. Already we have done that type of question in our class. Means question number 1 is totally a new question that require discussion. Correct? So can we start discussing related to question number 1? And before starting this question number 1, I would like to say that this question number 1 is not properly drafted. Means ICI has not properly drafted this question. So we need to understand what actually they want to say from this question. Correct? Yes, sir. So can we start? So you can see question number 1, they are saying that it is related to Ind AS 103. But from my point of view, it is not only Ind AS 103, we need to also understand the concept of Ind AS 111 joint arrangement. Ind AS 111 joint arrangement. Let us read. We'll be discussing what they want to say from this question. What is the requirement of this question? Company X is engaged in a business of exploration and development of oil and gas blocks. Means company X is engaged in a business. They have written company X is engaged in a business of exploration and development of blocks. Company X currently hold participating interest in below mentioned producing block as follow. You can see there is a block name AWM01 and company X hold 30% participating interest. Company Y holds 60% participating interest and company Z hold 10% participating interest. Means can I say in this way कि AWM01 correct, and there are three investor, that is company X, Y and Z. Company X hold 30%, company Y hold 60% and company Z hold 10% of this block. Understood? Yes, sir. For the above block, company X, Y and Z has entered into unincorporated joint venture. Means this AWM for this block, company XYZ has entered into an unincorporated joint venture. Means can I say there is no separate legal entity for this block? Correct? It is an unincorporated. It is not incorporated. Correct? Now, can I say whenever we say unincorporated joint venture, it means we need to go to Ind AS 111 and Ind AS 111 is joint arrangement, and Ind AS 111 says that whenever a joint arrangement is is not incorporated, so it will be always a joint operation. And if it is incorporated, means if it is created to a separate vehicle, then it may be joint operation or joint venture. Means can I say first this is only wrong, because when I am saying unincorporated, so unincorporated it will be always joint operation. So joint arrangement can be either joint operation or it can be joint venture. Understood? I hope you remember this point. So from my point of view, it should be unincorporated joint arrangement, and from that we can understand the unincorporated will be always joint operation. Correct? Yes, sir. Because the accounting treatment of joint operation is given under Ind AS 111, and accounting treatment of joint venture is as per Ind AS 28, that is equity method. Understood? Yes, sir. Now company Y is the operator of the block. It is given also company Y is the operator, and company X and company Z are the joint operator, means other operator of this block. Yes, sir. Means joint operation. Company Y incur all the expenditure on behalf of joint venture. Once again, you will misunderstood that it is joint venture, but I will say it should not be joint venture, it should be joint arrangement. Correct? Yes, sir. So company Y incur all the expenditure on behalf of joint arrangement. You can read it as joint arrangement, and raise cash called to the company X and company Z at each month end in respect of their share of expenditure incurred in joint arrangement. Yes, sir. Means company Y will initially incur all the expenditure, then at the end of each month they will call the other company to bear their share of expenditure. Yes, sir. All the manpower and requisite facilities and machinery owned by joint venture and thereby owned by all joint operators. It is given that all the manpower and requisite facilities and machineries are owned by joint arrangement. It should be joint arrangement and thereby owned by all the joint operator. Owned by all the joint operator means this point is very important. However, since can I say when I am saying it is unincorporated, then there is no doubt that it is a joint venture. It will be always joint operations. Yes, sir. So can I say in case of joint operation, we know that joint operation is a joint arrangement whereby the party that have joint control of the joint arrangement have right to the asset and obligation to liability related to joint arrangement. Means in case of joint venture, the parties which have joint control of joint arrangement will have a right to the net asset related to that joint arrangement. Understood? So can I say it is given that thereby owned by all joint operator means can I say all the assets are owned by joint operator. Owned by joint operator means they have a specific right on all asset. They have a specific right on all asset. It is understood from this point also that this is not joint venture, it is joint operations. Understood? So can I conclude that this is not incorporated and this will be a joint operation? This is joint operation. So can I say in case of joint operation as per India's triple one, the asset and the share of asset jointly held will be shown in the individual financial statement of XYZ, as well liability and the share of liability jointly incurred, income and share of income jointly earned, expense and share of expense jointly incurred will be shown in the respective individual financial statement of XYZ, or you can see separate financial statement of XYZ. Understood? I hope you are understanding. Yes, sir. Correct. Then what they have said, for the past few months, due to liquidity issue, Company Jet, which company? This Company Jet. Yes, sir. Company Jet defaulted in payment of cash called to operator. Means when Company Jet was called to pay the cash which is required for the share of expenditure, the Company Jet defaulted in payment of cash. Therefore, Company Y, the main operator, issued notice to Company Z for the withdrawal of their participating right from 1/4/2001. So from 1/4/2001, it is given that his participating rights will be withdrawn. His participating right will be withdrawn. Understood? Yes, sir. Correct. Yes, sir. Then what is given next? However, it is given. However, Company Z has filed the appeal with the arbitrator on 38/4/2001. So one case was filed. Okay, sir. Financial performance of Company Z has not been improved in the subsequent month, and therefore Company Z has decided to withdraw participating interest right from block and enter into sale agreement with Company X and Company Y as per the terms of agreement dated 31st May 2001. Means what is the date of agreement? So this become the date of agreement. Date of agreement. Yes, sir. Okay, sir. Company X will receive 33.33% share and Company Y receive 66.67% share of participating interest owned by Company Z. Means can I say out of this 10%, can I say 33.33% will be taken by X and 66.6667% will be taken by Y. Means X will acquire 33.33% of participating interest of Z in this block. Similarly, Y will also acquire 66.667% of participating interest of Z in this block. Understood? I hope you have understood. Yes, sir. Means if I say 10% into 33.33%, it will be what? 10 into 33.33%, it will be 3.33%. Means after this acquisition, what will be the share of participating interest? What will be the share of participating interest of X in this block? It will be what? 30 plus 3.33 means 33.33%, and it will become what? 66.67%. I hope you are understanding. Yes, sir. Correct. Then what they have given? One second, I will read what they have said. What they have said. In the subsequent month, and therefore Company Z has decided to withdraw participating interest right from block and enter into sale agreement with Company X and Company Y. As per terms of agreement dated 31st May, Company X will receive 33.33% share and Company Y will receive 66.67% share of participating interest right owned by Company Z. Yes, sir. Company X is required to pay rupees 1 lakh against this 33.33% share of participating interest right owned by Company Z. Means they have given only information about Company X. It means it gives an indication that this question you are doing from Company X point of view, not from Company what Y point of view. Yes, sir. It means Company X has paid. So Company X has paid how much? 1 lakh to Company Z to acquire 33.33% of this 10% participating interest. Yes, sir. Correct. Yes, sir. Means can I say this will be the amount of purchase consideration? This will be amount of purchase consideration. After signing of sale agreement, operator Company Y approached Government of India for modification in PSC. PSC means production sharing contract, that is removal of Company Z from PSC of AWM, and the government has approved this transaction on 30th June 2001. Means approval of this sale and purchase transaction was given by the government on 30th June. It is given that government approval for this modification in PSC is essential given the industry in which joint operator operate. So it is essential. Correct now. So can I say this approval was required? This approval was required. So can I say this sale agreement will become effective only when we get the approval from the government? So this 30th June 2001 become the effective date. This become the effective date for the sale of participating right, or we can say purchase of the participating right from company Z. Yes, sir. I hope you have understood this point. Yes, sir. Now they have given balance sheet of Company X and Company Z as follow. You can see they have given Company X and Company Z two balance sheet as on 31st May 2001, as on 30th June 2001, as on 31st May and 30th June 2001 for Company Z. You can see in balance sheet they have given non-current asset, property, plant and equipment, ROU asset, development, capital WIP, financial asset, loan receivable. In current asset they have given inventory, financial asset, trade receivable, cash and cash equivalent, other current asset. Then equity share capital, other equity. Then non-current liability, provision, other liability. Then total current liability is fine. Then under current liability they have given financial liabilities, trade payable. A simple balance sheet has been given. Correct now. I'll come to balance sheet once again. First let us read the additional information. Additional information they have given point number 1, fair value of PP and development capital WIP owned by Company Z as per the market participant approach is 5 lakh and 2 lakh respectively. But they have not given this is the fair value of PP and development capital WIP as on which date, whether it is on 31st May or whether it is on 30th June, that is not given. But we can understand it is they have given fair value of this property, plant and equipment means this they have given 5 lakh. Correct. And they have given for development capital WIP how much they have given? It is what, 2 lakh na? Correct. Yes sir, I think yeah, 2 lakh. It is 2 lakh, we can understand, but it is fair value on which date they have not given. Means they have given two balance sheet, but they have not given this a fair value of PP and fair value of capital WIP as on which date. This is the drafting mistake. I will say drafting mistake. Means when you read the question from examination point of view, in examination hall you need to take many assumptions for solving these questions. Yes sir. Means presence of mind is required, nothing more than that. Point number 2. Fair value of all other asset and liability acquired are assumed to be at their carrying value except cash and cash equivalent. Cash and cash equivalent of the company that are not acquired by company as per the terms of agreement. Means cash and cash equivalent will not be acquired. Oh ho ho. So it means can I say we should remove cash and cash equivalent? This should not be considered. Correct. Sorry. This should not be considered 1 lakh and 2 lakh, that is given now. As on the respective date, this should not be considered. Cash and cash equivalent should not be considered. Okay, sir. Then tax rate is assumed to 30%. Whenever tax rate is given and whenever there is an acquisition of assets and liability, always we should think about deferred tax, deferred tax effect. So this tax rate is given, it means we need to calculate DT or DTL, that we need to understand from the information given the question, even though question is silent. Then this point number 4 is totally bakwas point. Means I don't know why ICI has given this point number 4, because Ind AS 28 will not be applied in this question. Ind AS 28 means joint venture, and this is not a question of joint venture, it is a question of joint operation. But what they have given, as per Ind AS 28, all the joint operator, look, all the joint operator means Ind AS 28 is for joint venturer, not joint operator. So all the joint operator are joint venture whereby each party that have joint control of the arrangement have a right to the net asset of the arrangement. Therefore, every operator record their share of asset and liability in their books. Means once so they are saying they have a right to the net asset, and they are saying that every operator record their share of asset and liability in their book. Means this point is related to joint operator, and if joint venture have a right to the net asset, so this point is related to joint venture. So I will say this is totally a bakwas point which you should ignore. Means I don't know if such type of question is coming in exam for the first time, how you will react in exam hall. I always say that whenever in exam there is some question, do whatever you know. Means if such type of question is coming in exam, do whatever you know. Means don't leave any question. Whatever you have understood, just write down. Believe me, this question is coming for the first time, and we have not done this question before exam. So of course this will be one of the good question, means one of the good question which require your presence of mind. Do whatever you have understood in the time frame, means whatever the time is required for this question. Understood? Yes, sir. So from my point of view, this point number 4 is totally not relevant, therefore I have deleted. I don't know if what you would have done when this question would have asked directly in exam hall, means directly in exam. Yes, sir. You need to determine the following. Now, by reading the question, you might be confused what they want to ask. For that, a concept is required. Correct. First, let us read the question. Whether the above acquisition fall under business or asset acquisition as defined under business combination standard in AS 103, means what they are asking this acquisition, because can I say acquisition means participating interest is acquired. Participating interest is acquired. Correct now. So whether it will constitute a business acquisition or asset acquisition, means we need to discuss this this point as per the definition of business given under Ind AS 103. Yes, sir, we can do that. Then determine the acquisition date in the above transaction. Can I say acquisition date will be 30th June, not 31st May, because can I say on 30th June substantially the asset will be means substantially, because the that government approval was necessary. So it was substantially required. Correct now. So it means the date of acquisition will be 30th June. In this, I think no doubt 30th June will be the date of acquisition. And as per Ind AS 103, the date of acquisition is the date when the control is obtained, and the date when control is obtained will be the closing date. Closing date means what? When the consideration is paid, assets and liability will be assumed. But can I say that date can be that date can be either prior to closing date or it can be earlier to the closing date. I hope you're understanding. So we need to find out at which date control is acquired, control is obtained. So of course, can I say because that government approval was necessary, so on 30th June the control will be obtained on the whatever asset we have acquired. Understood? Yes, sir. We'll discuss this point number 2 once again. Prepare journal entry for the above mentioned transaction. Draft balance sheet for the company act based on your analysis in part 1 above at acquisition date. Now, we need to understand what actually happened. Means if you read the question and if you go as per this diagram, so you can see in this case X is an acquirer, Y is an acquirer, and X acquire some participating X acquired 33.33% of the participating interest of Z in this block. Understood? Correct. Understood this point? X acquire, what X is acquiring? X is acquiring 33.33%, 33.33% of participating interest of JET in this block. So whether Ind AS 103 will be applicable, this one doubt will come. Correct now. So what Ind AS 111 says, that we need to understand. What Ind AS 111 says, correct now, means whether this will, for this acquisition Ind AS 103 is applicable or not applicable, that we need to understand. If applicable, then we need to find out whether this participating interest whatever has been acquired, whether that group of assets and liability will constitute a business or will not constitute a business. Understood whatever I am saying? First we need to understand whether Ind AS 103 will be applicable or not. So what Ind AS 111 says, that we need to understand. For that we need to go to the concept, and you can see there is one concept given under Ind AS 111. Let us read that concept first. You can see accounting for acquisition of interest in joint operation. Accounting for acquisition of interest in joint operation. Understood? Acquisition of interest in joint operation. Acquisition of interest in joint operation. Of course, the acquisition of interest by the parties of that joint operation. Yes, so what they said, when an entity acquire, when an entity acquire, so in this X is that entity. Correct? In the question, X is the entity. When the entity acquire an interest in a joint operation, when an entity acquire an interest in a joint operation in which the activities of joint operation constitute a business, means the activities of joint operation constitute a business, means we need to find out, just try to understand what they want to say, everyone. See, the activities of this joint operation, whether it constitute a business as per the definition given under Ind AS 103. So that was the point number one. That was point number one. What they have asked in point number one, this I am just explaining the concept so that you can understand the relevance of this all question whatever has been asked. Whether the above acquisition fall under business or asset acquisition as defined under business combination, means the activities of this block, whether it constitute a business or it does not constitute a business. Understood whatever I am saying? Yes. So once again I am coming to the Ind AS 111. Let us, when an entity acquire an interest in joint operation in which the activities of joint operation constitute a business as defined under Ind AS 103, it shall apply. It means what? Entity X, it shall apply, means entity X shall apply to the extent of his share in joint operation, to the extent of his share in joint operation, to the extent of his share in joint operation, all the requirement of business combination, all the requirement of Ind AS 103, all the requirement of business combination accounting as per Ind AS 103, means now Ind AS 103 will be applicable. Understood? Correct? Means whenever an entity acquire an interest in joint operation in which the activity of joint operation constitute a business, then that entity will apply the requirement of Ind AS 103 for the journal entry. Understood? This also applies, means this applies to the acquisition of both the initial interest and additional interest in a joint operation. Means this entity X will apply, means I am just taking entity X into consideration. So entity X will apply this requirement, means requirement of Ind AS 103, both at the time of initial interest or additional interest in a joint operation in which the activities of joint operation constitute a business. Means it might happen that entity X is acquiring interest for the first time or subsequently. Correct now? Understood? Yes sir. Correct. But in this question it is additional interest, not initial interest. In the relevant question whatever given in RTP, that was additional interest acquired. Correct. Then what they have said, the above requirement also apply to the formation of joint operation. However, this para is not related to this question number one. So I will read this point. I will read this point at the end. This point, just leave it. Then what they have said, just try to understand. A party that participate in, a party that participate in but does not have joint control. 1 minute. Sorry, this point. A joint operator might increase its interest in joint operation. So in the question, can I say entity X will increase its interest in joint operation, which initially it was 30%, then it will be increased by 3.3% due to acquisition of 33.33% of participating interest of company Z in block. Understood? Yes, sir. Correct. So a joint operator might increase its interest in joint operation in which the activity of joint operation constitute a business as defined under Ind AS 103 by acquiring an additional interest in joint operation. In such case, previously held equity interest will not be remeasured. Means it is not a case of step acquisition. Means whatever you have done in step acquisition, if you remember under Ind AS 103, correct now. At the time of step acquisition, previously held equity interest was to be remeasured. Understood? But in this case, previously held interest in the joint operation are not remeasured if the joint operator retain joint control. If the joint operator retain joint control. Understood? Have you understood this point? Have you understood? Means now you must be thinking, sir, if the joint operator does not retain joint control, then can you see if the joint operator does not retain joint control, then it can be a case of discontinuation of equity method. Sorry, this will be what? This will be what? If the joint operator does not retain joint control, then it is some different case. What I am saying? Correct. Key previously held interest in joint operation are not remeasured. This is very special point. This is very special point. Correct. Means in normal step acquisition, whatever we have done under Ind AS 103, previously held equity interest will be remeasured. But in this case, if additional interest is acquired, then previously held interest in that joint operation will not be remeasured. Will not be remeasured. Correct. Then this point. A party that participate in but does not have joint control of a joint operation might obtain joint control in joint operation in which the activities of joint operation constitute business as defined in Ind AS 103. Means there can be some entity which was initially does not have any joint control. Means there may be some party to the joint operation, but that party may not have any joint control initially, but due to the acquisition of additional interest, now they are having joint control. It can be a case. Then in that case also Ind AS 103 will be applicable. So a party that participate in but does not have joint control of a joint operation might obtain joint control of joint operation in which the activities of joint operation consider business as defined under Ind AS 103. In such case, in this case also, previously held interest in joint operation are not remeasured. Understood? Yes, sir. I hope you are understanding these 2 points. We'll come to the solution. Solution will be very easy. First, come to the concept. Which concept we are applying, that we need to understand. Then if a transaction of acquisition of interest in a joint operation is a common control transaction, means if it is a common control transaction, it is quite possible that it meet the definition of what? Business combination under common control as defined under Ind AS 103, then the entity should not apply the requirement mentioned above. So of course then will not apply the requirement of Ind AS 103, will apply the requirement of Appendix C to Ind AS 103, that is pooling of interest method. In such case, the entity shall apply the accounting specified under Appendix C to Ind AS 103. This much you have understood? Correct. However, this second para I am just reading, but this para is not relevant for this particular question which has been given in RTP. The above requirement also apply to the formation of joint operation if and only if, means normally in formation of joint venture, we suppose X and Y form a joint operation. So on formation of joint operation, Ind AS 103 is not applicable. Ind AS 103 is not applicable on formation. But what they are saying, on formation of joint operation, if and only if an existing business as defined under Ind AS 103 is contributed to joint operation on its formation by one of the party that participate in joint operation. However, this correct now means it is quite possible that X has transferred one business. X has transferred one business. Correct now. On formation of joint operation. So X has contributed one business to this joint operation. And can you see now this joint operation, the share is 50% and 50%. Understood? It means can you see this Y has acquired 50% of this business. I hope you understood. So in the books of entity Y, Ind AS 103 will be applicable. Understood this point? I hope you are understanding. Correct, yes sir. So what they are saying, the above requirement also apply to the formation of joint operation if and only if an existing business as defined under Ind AS 103 is contributed to the joint operation on its formation by one of the parties that participate in joint operation. However, this requirement do not apply. This requirement will not apply. Means requirement of Ind AS 103 will not be applied to the formation of joint operation if all the party that participate in joint operation only contribute asset or group of asset that do not constitute the definition of business to the joint operation. Means if they have transferred asset or group of asset which do not consider business, then requirement of Ind AS 103 will not be applicable. Correct? This much have you understood? Now I hope you have understood this much. Now, under Ind AS 103, we have discussed that if it meets the if the transfer of if the transfer of business, the transfer of group of assets and liability meet the definition of business, then Ind AS 103 will be applicable. If it does not meet the definition of business, then Ind AS 103 is not applicable. That we have understood. It means what is that first question? Now we can understand. Means this para will be applicable only the activities of this joint operation, whatever we are doing, the activities of this joint operation constitute a business. Correct now? Means if the activities of this block will not constitute a business, then can I say Ind AS 103 will not be applied to entity X for acquisition of 33.33% of participating interest of JET in this block. Understood? Yes, sir. I hope you are understanding. Correct. Now, what was the first question? What was the first question? Whether the above acquisition fall under the business or asset acquisition as defined under business combination standard. So can I say as per definition of business given under Ind AS 103, what they say business means integrated set of activities and assets which are capable of being conducted and managed for providing goods and services to the customer, or for generating investment income, or for generating any other income from ordinary activities. Means what Ind AS 103 says, there must be input, there must be input, there must be process which applied on input, which applied on input are capable of generating output, means there are three elements of business: input, process and output, and the process whatever acquired should be substantive. Correct now? Understood? Means there must be input and substantive process which should significantly contribute for generating output. Means that process should be capable of generating output. Correct now? Understood? So if this all three elements meet, correct now, then it will satisfy the definition of business. And can I say from the question it can be easily understood, because it is given in the question all the manpower and requisite facilities and machinery is owned by joint venture and they were owned by all joint operator. Means from this para it is understood that of course there is some manpower and machineries, correct now, which collectively when they are working they are capable of generating block, because it is given in the question कि company X is engaged in business of X, but it is for company X. We are thinking for block, from block point of view. Understood now? So can I say from the question, because all the information has not been given in the question, so of course to apply Ind AS 103 you need to say yes it is meeting the definition of business, because if you say it is not meeting the definition of business, then the question become invalid from the examination point of view. So what the answer is given, let's see what the answer is given. Let's see everyone. Correct. 1 minute. Everyone, you can see Ind AS 103 defined business as an integrated set of activities and assets that is capable of being conducted and managed for the purpose of providing goods or services to customers, generating investment income or generating other income from ordinary activities. This is simple meaning. To be capable of being conducted and managed for the purpose of identified in the definition of business, an integrated set of activities and assets required two essential elements. However, output is not essential, it should be capable of generating output. Input and process apply to those inputs. Therefore, integrated set of activities and an asset must include at minimum an input and a substantive process that together significantly contribute to the ability to create output. In the aforesaid transaction, Company X acquired share of participating right owned by Company Z for producing block. So from this, it is understood that of course it is capable of generating output. Capable of generating output means output exists on acquisition date. Output is existing on acquisition date. The output exists in this transaction. So output exists in this transaction. If you remember that the definition of business, it is given that a process acquired will be substantive depends upon two situations, whether output exists or output do not exist on the acquisition date. If output exists on the acquisition date, then process acquired should include, the process acquired should be critical, and its process acquired should include input and the organized skilled force. So it is given the question that this whatever block have what, this joint operation have manpower and requisite facilities and machineries, correct? Now, so from that we can understand that of course the process is critical and the process acquired include input and organized skilled force. That can be understood, yes sir. So what they have given, also the manpower and requisite facilities and machinery are owned by joint venture and thereby all the joint operator. Hence, acquiring participating right tantamount to acquire input, existing manpower and machinery. It is critical to the ability to continue the producing output. Thus, the said acquisition will fall under business acquisition, and hence Ind AS 103 will be applied for the same. Hence Ind AS 103 will be applied for the same. Understood? Have you understood this point? Correct? Yes, sir. So from the question, I will say the question has not given clear information about input process is substantive or not, but we can give some answer as per the emotions, as per the emotions of this question. Yes, sir. Then what is the second question they have asked? That is also very simple. What is the second question they have asked? If you read, determine the acquisition date in above transaction. It is understood is 30th June. Correct. Now let's see what the answer has been given. Answer is as per Ind AS 103, because the date of acquisition and date when the control is obtained, and the control is obtained on closing date. Closing date means the date when the consideration is transferred and assets and liabilities are assumed. Means it should be the effective date. Yes, sir. So what the answer has been given? As per Ind AS 103, acquisition date is the date on which acquirer obtained control of the acquiry. Further, Ind AS 103 clarify that the date on which acquirer obtained control of acquiry is generally the date on which acquirer legally transfer the consideration and acquire assets and assume the liability of acquiry, the closing date. However, the acquirer might obtain control on a date that is earlier or later than the closing date. An acquirers consider all pertinent facts and circumstances in identifying the acquisition date. Since the Government of India approval is substantive approval for the Company Acts to acquire control of Company JAD operation to acquire miss. But can I say for Company Acts to acquire, Company Acts is not acquiring control of Company JAD operation. This is one point which I need to clear. Means Company X acquire only the participating interest of Company Z in the joint operation. Correct now. So they have said Company Z's operation. So of course Company X has not acquired the other business of Company Z. Yes sir. So this need to be considered what they have given. Correct now. The date of acquisition cannot be earlier than the date on which approval is obtained from GOI. This is pertinent given in the approval of GOI is considered to be substantive process, and according the acquisition is considered to be completed only on receipt of such approval. Hence, acquisition date will be 30th June 2001. Means from this point it is understood that this balance sheet is not at all relevant. This balance sheet is not at all relevant. So this information is not at all relevant for the solution. And it is now also clear that whatever the fair value is given, the fair value is as on 30th June, because of course if the fair value has given on 31st May, then we will not be able to solve the question. Means we need to assume that this fair value whatever has been given is as on 30th June 2001. I already said there is some drafting issue in this question. Yes sir, it is clear now. Now what they have asked? What they have asked, third point, prepare journal entry for the above mentioned transaction. Prepare journal entry means, now can you say, it means all the assets and liability, means just try to understand whatever I am saying, everyone. Now suppose this has an asset of rupees 10 lakh. So out of this 10 lakh, already 3 lakh is in the books of X and 6 lakh is in the books of Y, and 1 lakh will be in the books of Z. Understood? Correct? Now out of this 1 lakh, 33.33% has been acquired by X. Correct? Means now this will be divided in two parts, and 1 lakh, so 33,333 and 66,667 will be transferred to X and Y. Correct? And can I say on this acquisition Ind AS 103 will be applicable? It means this asset should be acquired at fair value, and the fair value of INA minus purchase consideration will be goodwill or gain on bargain purchase as per Ind AS 103. Correct? And of course, can I say on initial recognition of this fair value of INA, can I say Ind AS 12 will be applicable? Ind AS 12 will be applicable means you need to compare the fair value of INA with the tax base of INA, and the tax base of INA will be the tax base of acquiry, and in the tax base of acquiry is not given, we'll assume the tax base and carrying amount are same for the calculation of DTA or DTR. I hope you are understanding whatever I am saying. Yes, sir. Correct. It means just try to understand whatever I am saying. This JAD, now this company JAD, everyone, this company JAD have property, plant and equipment. This company JAD has property, plant and equipment. So this company JAD may have its own asset from its own business. Means this property, plant and equipment may be from its own business and from this joint operation. Correct. So this joint operation is 1 lakh. Correct. And there may be some other asset also. I hope you are understanding this point. Now, from my point of view, we need to find out that what is the property, plant and equipment in the company chat related to joint operation. Related to joint operation. But in your question, you can see they have given the balance sheet of company chat. You can see they have given the company chat, and this all assets and liability. This all assets and liability maybe from two operations, means company JAD operations, company JAD individual operation, and joint operations. Correct. Means can I say we need to take one assumption that company JAD is doing only one activity that is related to block. Means they are not performing, they are not doing any other operations. I hope you understanding. Means we need to take one assumption from the given question. This company JAD, whatever property, plant and equipment, whatever ROU asset, whatever development capital WIP is related to joint operations only. That assumption we need to take. Correct now. From my point of view, we need to give how much of this property, plant and equipment, related to joint operation. Correct now. How much of this ROU asset related to joint operation, means share of joint operation. Understood now? Have you understood this point? Correct. So we'll take one assumption. This all assets and liability are related are related to joint operation, this assumption we should take. Correct now? Understood? And this is nothing but 10% of 10% of assets and liabilities of joint operation, and this represent 10% of what? Assets and liabilities of joint operation. Understood? Yes, sir, we have understood. Correct? Have you understood this point? Correct. Yes, sir. Means now coming to calculation, can I say first we need to find out carrying amount of INA and carrying amount of INA and the fair value of INA of company JAD. Correct now. So for that one working note is given. I'm not doing the question. Now you will be able to understand whatever I am saying. So first you can see they have done one working note. Of what? Determination of company jet balance sheet acquired by company X on 30th June. You can see property, plant and equipment is the carrying amount given. Then these all are carrying amount as per the balance sheet. However, cash and cash equivalent we should not consider. You can remove this cash and cash equivalent. This is not required because cash and cash equivalent is not taken over. Other current assets, then non-current liability they have taken. Then they have given carrying value 33.33%, carrying value So you can see this is 33.3, or you can see one third. This is also one third, one third, one third, one third, one third. This is also one third, one third, one third. Correct? This is also one third. Then we'll also find out the acquisition date fair value. So acquisition date fair value for PP and capital WIP, it is 5 lakh and 2 lakh. So 5 lakh, you can see 5 lakh divided by one third means divided by 3 is 1,66,650, or they have done means they have done into percentage. So 33.33%. It will come this, if you do 1 by 3, so it will come in decimal. If you do 33.33%, it will come in whole number. You can try in your calculator this point. So you can see this is the fair value, means this is the one third, or better I will add on 33.33%, 33.33% of 5 lakh, and this is 33.33% of 2 lakh, and others are as equal to carrying amount. You can see, yes sir, yes sir. So we can work out, and therefore we can get what is the carrying amount of INA and what is the fair value of INA. Understood? The total is not given, we can calculate it. We'll not consider cash and cash equivalent because that is not taken over. So you can calculate it. You can see it is 1,56,651, then 1,26,654. From this will minus cash and cash equivalent. So this is minus, it is 66660, then minus all non-current liability, that is 99990, then minus 66660. So you can see the carrying amount is 49,995, and what is the fair value? Let us find out fair value. So fair value, you can see it is 2,56,641, then plus 1,26,654. From this will minus cash and cash equivalent 66660, then minus all liabilities. So it is minus 99990, then minus current liabilities 6660. It is coming 1,49,985. Understood? Now we can calculate DT and DTL. So you can see the calculation of DT and DTL. You just try to understand whatever they have given. You can see the net asset acquired at fair value. Already we calculated 1,49,985. So that is 1,49,985. And then we compare with the tax base of acquiry. Whenever tax base of acquiry is not given, we take it as what? Equal to carrying amount of the INA acquired. Yes sir. So book value of net asset acquired is 49,995. The difference is 99,990. Correct. On this will apply 30%, because can I say the fair value is more than tax base. It means carrying amount is more than tax base. It means it will result in taxable temporary difference. It means we need to find out DTL. DTL at a rate of 30% will be 29,997. So we need to recognize DTL. We need to recognize DTL. It means, can I say the net asset acquired will be 1,49,985 minus 29,997. So from this minus 29,997 will do. Yes sir. It is coming 1,19,988. Yes sir. 1,19,988. Understood this point? Correct. So this will be fair value of INA. Fair value of INA acquired. Now we can find out goodwill or gain on bargain purchase. So you can see they have done one more calculation. You can see this is what? 1,19,000. Already we calculated 1,19,988. So fair value of INA is what? 1,19,988, and the consideration paid is 1 lakh. So you can see purchase consideration is less than fair value of INA acquired. Therefore it will be gain on bargain purchase, and gain on bargain purchase will be transferred to OCI. Why it is transferred to OCI? Because there is no evidence of, of what? Bargain purchase. There is no evidence of bargain purchase. Correct now? Understood. So it will be transferred to OCI, accumulated to capital reserve. Yes sir. So 19,988 will be gain on bargain purchase, which is ultimately transferred to capital reserve in balance sheet. Yes sir. Now we can pass the journal entry. Journal entry is very simple. Means this question was super easy if you have understood what they want to ask. Correct? Yes sir. Means the question cannot be easier than this in exam if this type of question they ask you. But of course you need to once do it. Now you can see in the books of company X, property, plant and equipment at what, one third of 5 lakh. This is one third of 5 lakh. Then ROE asset, then all asset at carrying amount is taken. Only these two assets are taken at what, 33.33% of fair value. Other asset will be what, 33.33% of what, carrying amount. To provision, to other liability, to trade paper, to DTL come, and purchase consideration is paid in cash. So to cash 1 lakh, the difference will be gain on bargain purchase, which will be ultimately transferred to capital reserve in balance sheet. Correct. Now we can prepare the balance sheet of company X. So whatever the asset was given on 30th June, in this will add this, you can see it will be increased by this adjustment. Balance sheet you can prepare as per the requirement of division 2, that you can do it. That, and you can see in other equity, you can see in other equity you can add to capital reserve 19,988. Super easy question. From my point of view, whatever I have discussed, you have understood. Correct. So must do question, because totally a new question. This was totally new question. I hope whatever I have discussed, you have understood. Correct. This PDF I'll give. If you want to refer, you can refer. Correct. Once again, I repeat the concept, whatever is given under Ind AS 111. So this concept was a part of Ind AS 111. So I will say this question is relevant. This question is based on Ind AS 111 and Ind AS 103. This question is not at all related to Ind AS 28. One more clarification I just want to give. One note has been given in the solution. This is totally bakwas note. What they have given, check करेंगे. In next, this note is correct. This note. As per Ind AS 103, in case of entity acquire another entity by step through series of purchase and acquisition date to the date on which the acquirer obtain control. Till the time the control is obtained, the investment will be acquired as per the requirement of Ind AS 103 if the investment are covered under the standard as per or as per Ind AS 28 if the investment are in the associate or joint venture. If a business combination achieves stages, the acquirer shall remeasure previously held equity interest in acquiring at its acquisition date fair value and recognize the resulting gain or loss in PL or OCI. Since the above transaction, Company X does not hold any prior interest. How Company X does not hold any prior interest? Correct now. Means I will say this point is not at all relevant, because this is not a question of joint related to joint venture. This question is related to joint operation. Means from my point of view, institute has drafted the question, and while drafting they have forgotten actually what they want to ask, whether they want to ask joint venture or whether they want to ask joint operation. However, I will say their utmost interest was joint operation only, but while drafting they only confuse themselves. They are confused by joint venture and joint operation accounting treatment. However, this para is not at all relevant. One point already we have discussed related to Ind AS 111, this concept the previously held interest will not be remeasured. This point is very important. Previously held interest in joint operation will not be remeasured if the joint operator retain joint control. Understood this point? Have you understood this? I hope you have understood. Correct now. Now, if you find that there are some other questions which require clarification, however, from my point of view, other question does not require clarification. Listening the video of any faculty is a waste of time for other question from my point of view. I think you can only read, you can only understand, but you feel that some other questions are there which require clarification. There is one question of Ind AS 113. That is I will say not a new question, because that was also given in some of the RTP or MTP of previous attempt, but that question can be understood by you only. Therefore I am not discussing, but if you find that there are some questions which require my explanation, so you can write down, you can mention in the comment box. I will come out of I'll come out with a video for that question also. Correct. I hope you have understood this part. Correct. If you have understood, please mention in the comment box whether you have understood or not. If you have not understood, then also comment in the comment box that sir we have not understood. Then I'll just come out with some more clarification. Totally new question. I don't know whether it is important for the coming attempt or not, but it is of course important for May 2022 and onward attempt. From May 2022 onward attempt, this type of question can be asked in exam. Correct. Thank you very much. All the best. Goodbye. Good night. Take care. Bye bye.